Most AI coding conversations start with a prompt. Mine increasingly start with a systems question. What does the project remember? Because the hard part of engineering is rarely one file, the hard part is memory. What changed 6 months ago? Which module still depends on the old interface? Which tests protect the migration? Which service is quietly held together by a shared type or feature flag? This is where AI assistants can feel too local. It can read a file and write a patch, but if it misses surrounding relationships, it is using short-term memory inside a long-term system. That is why I wanted to test Graphify. Graphify is an open source GitHub project that turns a code base into a graph of files, symbols, relationships, communities, reports, and visual maps. And that matters because tokens are not memory. A large context window helps, but stuffing more files into a prompt is not the same as understanding a system. My team is also building Logan.io. Describe an app, deploy it, and for enterprise, operate thousands of isolated gvisor runtimes. This graph layer can make memory, token routing, ownership, logs, and migration paths more selective. Tokens are a budget. A graph is a root. I still use grep and libgrep every day. If I run rg GameDirector, I get the files and lines that mention that name. But search is literal. Architecture is relational. Search answers, where is this string? The graph answers, what depends on this? What does it touch? And which tests are nearby? A practical workflow is graph first for the root, then rg for the exact lines. If I am changing authentication, rg token may find the obvious files. A graph can show the auth boundary, clients, test, and legacy token edge cases. If I am migrating a database schema, I want to know who writes the table, who reads it overnight, and which dashboards depend on it. If I am upgrading a framework, moving from REST to GraphQL, or splitting a monolith, search helps inspect code. The graph estimates blast radius. That was the test. Not a pretty picture, but more disciplined engineering work. For proof, I used one real project, Run the Straight. It is a Unity code base with runtime systems, UI, build scripts, Maestro QA, release tooling, scenes, and prefabs. The final graph had 3,753 nodes, 8,653 edges, and 145 communities. Graphify surfaced hubs like HUDPresenter, ThreatDirector, Combat Feedback Director, and the Unity serialized binding index. That last one matters because real architecture is not always in source code. In Unity, it can live inside scenes and prefabs. In web apps, backends, and data platforms, it can live in roots, feature flags, cron jobs, queue names, deployment files, tables, notebooks, and dashboards. If the graph ignores those relationships, the AI may understand the code while misunderstanding the system. So I added a local sidecar that made the Unity wiring visible to the graph. That is the pattern I like. Build a memory layer around the system. Then use that memory layer before making changes. Then I started asking questions. What touches GameDirector? The answer included QA, presentation, telemetry, input, visual grading, and playtest automation. What tests cover ThreatDirector? The graph pointed towards stress QA, seeded playtests, telemetry, HUD warnings, spawning behavior, and final pressure checks. That is a test strategy emerging from the shape of the system. What connects Maestro QA to runtime probes? The answer connected the shell script, runtime probe, launch settings, input bridge, screenshots, reporting, and monitoring. A migration is not just replacing old code with new code. It is preserving behavior while the shape of the system changes. If you migrate payments, the risk is refunds, retries, webhooks, invoices, and reconciliation. If you migrate an API, the risk is compatibility, caching, auth propagation, observability, and rollback. If you split a monolith, the risk is learning that the diagram boundary is not the real code boundary. A graph helps because it gives the team a shared map of what has to move together. It also helps with scalability, and not only server scalability. Organizational scalability matters too. When a graph shows one presenter, controller, service, or shared module with hundreds of edges, that is not automatically bad, but it is a signal. It may be a stable orchestration point, a God object, or the place where every feature pays interest on old coupling. Without a map, teams scale by adding meetings. With a map, teams can ask sharper questions about ownership, boundaries, tests, and risk. There was one limitation in my run. Semantic documentation extraction through Claude CLI failed, so the final result was an AST-only fallback. Code, scripts, workflows, packaged JSON, and structured sidecar memory were indexed, but deeper markdown narratives were not. That caveat matters because professional experiments should have boundary conditions. Graphify did not replace engineering judgment. It gave engineering judgment a better surface to operate on. It reduced the temptation to ask an AI model to remember everything in one giant prompt. And it changed the workflow. Before touching a major system, I now want a short evidence note. Which graph query did we run? Which nodes came back? Which paths are in the blast radius? Which tests did the graph suggest? AI engineering should not only be about faster code generation, it should be about better situational awareness. Less guessing, less prompt stuffing, less pretending the current chat is the whole project. More memory, more structure, more architecture. Graphify is not just a graph on a screen. Used well, it is a way to make large systems more legible before we ask AI to change them. That's where I'll wrap this one. If you want to follow the journey as I keep exploring practical engineering with AI, subscribe. And thanks for watching. See you in the next one.